everyone's talking about Sean McVay to make coaching changes. Yes, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So let's start off with this article from the Rams Wire here by a friend of the show, Cameron DeSilva. It said, no one was pleased with the way. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Okay, there you go. No one was pleased with the way the 2022 season went for the Los Angeles Rams. Sean McVay among them said their 5-12 season, a professional failure on his part. And of course, we all know it's not all on McVay. There's a lot of things that went on for the Rams season to go the way it did. But he's officially back. And we're going to scroll down here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, and it's going to be like weird. So that's cool. The Rams have already watched Liam Cohen leave for his job as the offensive coordinator, and he's headed back to Kentucky for the second time in 3 years. Mike LaFleur is reportedly joining the Rams staff. He was just fired from the Jets this year, though it's not clear what role he'll have or whether he'll be the new offensive coordinator. Thomas Brown, who's currently the Rams' assistant head coach, McVay's assistant head coach and the tight ends coach, could also be on his way out after landing an interview with the Texans. He'd be a big loss for the Rams as an up-and-coming coach in LA. I know a lot of people expected Thomas Brown to kind of be an internal hire and go into that offensive coordinator role. Offensive line coach Kevin Carberry, offensive assistants Nick Jones and Zach Cromer, senior offensive assistant Greg Olson, quarterbacks / passing game coordinator Zach Robinson, and wide receivers coach Eric Yarber are all on McVay's staff offensively right now. Jake Pez, another offensive assistant, was expected to become Nebraska's quarterback coach back in November, but he decided to stay with the Rams. It remains to be seen if he'll be kept on McVay's staff, however. So I bring that up, and then I'll just quickly share this tab also. Because I want to make zoom in there a little bit. I want to make a few points here. So Liam Cohen was our offensive coordinator this year. Before that, for 2 years, it was Kevin O'Connell, and then he got hired on to the Vikings head coaching job. But if you look here, this is where it gets interesting. Is between 2018 and 2019, the Rams did not have an offensive coordinator. Matt LaFleur was our offensive coordinator when McVay got hired in 2017. And anything below this, we don't talk about this as Rams fans. This was dark years for the offensive coordinator position, so we don't want to talk about that. But talking about that, so we had Matt LaFleur from 1 year. Then we had 2 years where we didn't have an offensive coordinator. And I bring this up, and again, I don't think that I have some spectacular insight of, the next legendary offensive coordinator for the Rams has to be this person. I think there's a chance that the Rams restructure the offense to, maybe we don't have an offensive coordinator again. And I know that's like the traditional thing to do, but the Rams had some pretty successful offenses without an offensive coordinator. If Mike LaFleur is to join our staff, and it's in some sort of different role, like consultant role, passing coordinator role, who knows? I based on the rumors of McVay's departure and him coming back and that drama that's well behind us, maybe there's an opportunity here for the Rams to restructure their offensive coaching. And maybe that's what McVay is doing. And that's why we haven't heard a lot about interviews or anything like that. And I know some fans, they're like, oh, let's go get Frank Wright. Let's try and get him as our offensive coordinator. I'm not in the camp where we for sure have to have an offensive coordinator. I do know that traditionally an NFL team, they have a head coach, a defense coordinator, an offensive coordinator. But maybe this is something that the Rams are trying to do a little bit different. And I'm glad for it. I hope that they take the time to really, reflect on this season, what went well, what didn't go well. Because people even criticize McVay's play calling a lot. And rightfully so. And I think he'd be the first one to critique his own play calling. And I think with that comes the opportunity to do that self-scouting, to really ask, okay, if we're going to have an offensive coordinator, what's their role? Because how many times as Ram fans did we ask this year, what does Liam Cohen even do? I don't know, right? And so it's just a thought that came to mind that maybe we're not going to have an offensive coordinator. And again, that's not to say we're not going to. And I feel like I don't want to talk in too many circles here. But if we do have an offensive coordinator, cool. I hope that we restructure that with a little more clear expectation of what their role is in regards to getting the offense ready. Because the offense struggled this year. Let's not sugarcoat it. And with those struggles comes criticisms from the fandom, such as us. And that's okay. It's okay to critique a professional organization that way that you're a fan of. We've been doing it for years, and we're going to do it for years to come. So those are just some of my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think the Rams need an offensive coordinator? That maybe McVay needs to give up play calling, or maybe you think that you just want McVay to call plays, and we should structure our offensive coaching staff to have like a passing game coordinator, a run game coordinator, and like a conditioning staff, or like game management coordinator, like some made up title. I don't know, but let me know in the comments below what you think. It's definitely something that Ram fans are talking about, that they're interested in, and I'm really curious to see what happens with it. And I'd love to hear your thoughts as well.